John here, Elton's Retirement Journey and Travel. In this video, I wanted to talk about taking that ideal vacation. As you can see from the background, I am out by the grounds of the Eiffel Tower. My hotel is very close to it. One thing that I did many, many years ago when I was working at the recycling company, I got that part-time job as a security officer, working 20 hours every weekend, and that went on for a whole year. I actually made an extra $8,000 or so. And what I did was I paid down my credit card debt and also put some money away for to expand my savings. Now this is the year 2010 when I finally got the credit card debt paid off. I had multiple credit cards. I used to travel, put airfare on one, hotel on another, and then finally the rental car. That was when I was living in Detroit. I wanted to get away, and I was finding other places to travel to. Make a long story short, I eventually paid that credit card off. It was like $100 a month over three credit cards, and I added one paycheck to the payment on one of the credit cards. So what happened after a period of time, I actually got my credit card paid off, and then I had extra money. And that extra money was about $500 a month on a salary of barely $40,000, working at the recycling company in the year 2010. And what I did was I went ahead and saved up enough cash for a vacation, and I went with ABC Tours. And since I didn't have any credit card debt anymore, I went ahead and booked me my first international vacation after getting my passport. I got the passport, saved the money up, booked the vacation, booked I think the airfare was included. I think I had to go through New York. But I used that extra money once I got back to pay off the trip as a car note. And that allowed me to take my first international vacation with ABC Tours to London, and we took the Euro train to Paris. So I've actually already been here before, and back then, with that 3 grand, I spent maybe a little under of a grand in London because a lot of the museums are free. And when I got to here to Paris, I did a lot of shopping. I used the hop on, hop off, and I brought my tuxedo and I went to the Lido and the Moulin Rouge, which is those burlesque clubs. So I had a really good time. And after that, I used that as a model to take a vacation every year. So how does it fit in with retirement? Well, in 2010, the market wasn't doing all that great. I've already saved up some money, and I moved back from Savannah to Atlanta, and I eventually got myself a better paying job to fix the wage suppression. I went from 40,000 to 45,000 in a much better plan. That's why over at my channel I have that Charles Schwab account, because I found an investment, I put money in, and it did very well, and I kept it. And I just rolled the mutual fund over in kind, and then in cash I picked some other ones. But anyway, I started investing, I bumped it up, and later I got my car paid off. And once I got into another job that took my salary closer to about 48,000, I kept working on these part-time jobs. I never stopped. And that allowed me to bring in more income and do more savings. And back in Atlanta from 2012 all the way up to COVID, and then after COVID settled, I have been taking these vacations every year. I never bothered with, would it be better for me to take this 5 grand and throw it into an investment? Because some of the investments weren't doing all that great anyway. So I just said, you know what, if I can continue spending $5,000 a year, take these trips, eventually I got to the point where I didn't need to use the credit card, the zero interest, and pay it off like a car note. I started, after that car note got paid, I lifted the amount I was paying, putting in the 401k to a better percentage, but I worked more in a part-time job. I had two or three of those jobs, and I was able to take some really exciting vacations. Some of the more expensive vacations were India, including over to Kathmandu, where I was in the Himalayan mountains. We were up about 10,000 feet, and we could look at the Himalayas. And I took Buddha Airlines. That was about $220 for an hour just to fly around and look at the Mount Everest. And we also went to Russia. I'm one of the few people who have been in Russia. I was literally walking around by myself in Russia. I mean, I stuck out like a sore thumb, but I am a friendly, approachable person. I didn't have any problems. Um, and that became a trademark of mine. Part of my identity is to take an international vacation, and I would document all this, which is one of my subscribers that say, I'd like to see the cost of that, which I have it documented. And that helped me reward myself as I worked. And I really didn't have to go a year and not have any major vacations. I would take the big vacation and then squeeze in a couple small ones if need be. And I would burn up that 2 week. It was challenging when I had 2 weeks. But when I got to Morgan Stanley and E-Trade, I started getting 4 weeks paid vacation every year, at least 30 days. And over the last 2 years, I've been taking 2 vacations every year. Even when I retired, I had a trip to Germany already paid for. And approximately 30 days, my first 1 month anniversary, I was on my way to Germany. And I didn't have to worry about coming back. And it was a good idea because one of my flights, I missed it and I don't have to stay in overnight. But anyway, so the point of this is that once you retire, you decide right now if you want to go somewhere. As you watch this video, you can go to gateonetravel.com, register, and just browse through some of their vacations. And then you can take a look at the cost and go to Expedia or one of the other, your favorite airline site and paste together the cost and then just make plans. In this case, this vacation here was paid for when I took the 2025 IRA distribution, $12,400. I only spent half that money. And one of the things I did was pay this vacation up. This vacation was $2,200, which includes a coming here to Amsterdam a day early, which I went and seen a couple of museums, the Dutch Resistance Museum and the Holocaust Museum. They've had exhibits in there I've never seen on any of the documentaries, which is very intriguing. So you, as a potential retiree, when you're putting your money away, you're adding extra contributions. You may want to put away a little bit of money to the side in a money market as you get your income tax, as you get your bonuses, or like I did when I went to Russia. I worked 31 straight days, and some of those days I went from my full-time job at the data center down to the stadiums, and I either worked basketball concerts or some of the soccer games, and that raised the money I needed to spend in Moscow, St. Petersburg. So there's a lot of things you can do, and as you know, I'm actually maintaining the same process I had as I was working, except I don't have no job because I fund myself through the investment. So that's what I wanted to tell you, and I will put together and bring out my spreadsheet. We'll look through Gate One, and I will approach. There's at least 2 of the guys that I follow have not really talked about vacations, but they got a big following. And if they decided, they could get a number of people together and go on one of these vacations and not even have to pay for it. They would be like the star of it. And through them, people would come in and sign up. And once you get so many people sign up, your vacation for you and your wife is free. And I can't do that because my channel isn't doing any better than it was when I started, except I'm 20% of the way of having enough followers, but I don't have the watch hours. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm going to be okay. These vacations will be going on, and they will be much, much better. But I also wanted you to know how I did it, okay? So my name is John, and you are on location with me in Paris, France. This is it's April 5th, and I got another big tour that I'm paying for. That's an excursion tour on my own, and I will bring you some footage from that. I just wanted to come on and kind of tie this into the retirement, where some of that fixed income that's growing and earning that interest, it grows enough in interest where you could pull that money out, take yourself a vacation, and it'll continue to grow the next year. That's just on fixed income. I mean, had nothing to do with the gains, because our gains are kind of stagnant right now. But this can be done, and perfect time. I had all this booked. There was no increase. Okay, so my name is John, and you're with me here on location in the park by the Eiffel Tower here in Paris. Bonjour.